Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and also good morning actually for all of us. That Alhamdulillah now we can meet again, even though for our meeting now we can handle it through Zoom and online meetings. In our previous meeting, actually, class we have discussed several materials in our subject coursebook evaluations. And for several meetings last week and also last 2 weeks, we have discussed about what is the coursebook, the textbook, and then also the differences between media in teaching and also the material in teaching. I believe that you still remember about what makes media and also the material in teaching difference. And our today discussion, actually, even though we only discuss it through the video, here it's going to be so interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to share one thing to you. Now, Akang Teteh, try to imagine if I ask you to learn through the material like this one. Or, I mean, when the teacher asks the students to learn the material, yeah, and that material is the text or the books. And in that books, you can find the text. The whole things that you can find in the book, it's only the text. Only the text, only the words, like this one. all pages, all pages that you can find out in the book or the material given by the teacher, only like this, only the text, only the words, no pictures, not nothings that you can find out except the text or the words, like old novel, probably, right? So take a look like this one. You have to learn about the material, and in every pages you try to open that book, that material, only the words, only the text, white and black, without the picture, without any colors. So what will you feel for that one? What do you think about that one? And I believe that some of us probably will feel so bored in reading the text, yeah, especially English as a foreign language. Reading the text without any other color, without any picture or any supporting things that can make that material, that can make that book interesting for the student or even us as an adult, yeah, to read or to learn that material. Yeah. And of course, it will be so boring, especially for children, for the student in elementary school. It will be so boring. Even also for us as adults, also will feel so boring and also not too interesting to read, especially like me, to read the book without any picture that can support the visualizations in that material. All things you can find out, it's only the text. All things you can find out, it's only the word. It will be so boring like this one. Yeah. Let's take a look and try to read about this. Can you imagine 100 pages and all things and all it's only the words. Yeah. Like this. Therefore, Akang Teteh, therefore, some of the experts, some of the experts and also teachers all over the world, all right, try to develop what we call with this one, multi-model text. So this the material, this topic that we are going to discuss this week, even though you listen to this explanation video, multimodal text in coursebook. Akang Teteh, so what do I mean with the multimodal text? Multimodal text means that the text that's not only the words, but it has something more like a picture, the visualization, the audio, or the other things that can support this material through any modes, not only the words. And especially we can explain about multimodal text in the course book and the multimodal text, how the multimodal text enhancing the English language learning. Okay, when we talk about multimodal text, is it necessary to have a course book, to have a book, textbook, or anything of the books that facilitating the material with multimodal? Facilitating the material with the multimodal text, is it necessary or not? So the first thing that you have to do here now is watch the video that I'm going to show you. So here is the video. The video will be about discover your learning style, because as the educator, ladies and gentlemen, we have to understand that every people, each people, even us, each of you, even me, probably we have different learning style. Some of us, you or some of you, probably with me, we will have a different or probably same learning style. So we have to know the various learning style that's going to be explained by this video. Happy watching, everyone.
Here's Jonathan studying for a test. And studying, and studying, and studying. And here he is getting his test results. All that studying and he still got an F. Why? The thing is, there's no one right way to study. Some methods might work great for one person and not at all for others. Everybody learns differently. In order to find a study method that's best for you, it's important to know your learning style. The four most popular learning styles are visual, auditory, reading-writing, and kinesthetic, or hands-on. For most people, one of these methods will work best, but it's also possible for a combination of different styles to be effective. To discover your learning style, you can complete an online assessment. There's a wide variety of them available, consisting of multiple choice questions. However, you can also observe yourself and your previous learning experiences to get an idea of how you learn best. Let's circle back to Jonathan. When he's in class and his teacher is lecturing, he gets distracted pretty easily. Words tend to go in one ear and out the other. But when his teacher starts using visuals, Jonathan finds it easier to focus and understand the material, so he might be a visual learner. Now think about your history. How have you enjoyed learning in the past? Do you prefer watching over listening? Do you enjoy reading instead? Or maybe you learn best by doing, with hands-on experience. If none of these seem to grab you, give them each a try and see which one you tend to drift towards. Each learning style has its own study methods that work best with it. Let's take a look at how Jonathan and a few of his classmates study. As a visual learner, Jonathan finds it helpful to color code his notes. He finds it helps him to organize information and internalize it better. He also creates diagrams while studying, finding that they help him to better understand certain structures and ideas. Jonathan watches videos too, finding them helpful for extra information. Ruby is more of an auditory learner. She likes to study in a group and discuss the material with others. Sometimes she'll read her notes out loud because it helps her to hear what she's studying. In some classes, Ruby will record the lecture, with her teacher's permission of course, so that she can go back and listen to it later. Terrell finds that he learns best by reading and writing. He takes substantial notes during class and reads over them often. When he's trying to memorize something, he'll often write it out. He also makes sure to read and reread any materials his teacher has assigned the class. Raya is a kinesthetic learner. She's got a lot of energy and likes doing things. Labs and hands-on activities help her to understand certain ideas and topics. Sometimes she'll review her material while she's walking around. She also likes to take breaks in order to release some of her energy, allowing her to focus when she returns to studying. All four of these students are studying the same material, but they're doing so in different ways. Now, this doesn't guarantee that they'll all get the same grades, but by determining their learning style and finding study methods that work for them, they just might find themselves getting better results.
Okay, so Akang Teteh, after you watch the video before, we can understand that each of us probably we will have different learning style. When you, as the teacher, only facilitating the student to learn through or using the book, using the course book, and inside the course book, inside that book, the only thing your student can find out it's only the words means that you're not facilitating all student or all learning style. Yeah, all student that has different learning style. You only probably facilitating the student who have one learning style only, right? Not the other one, right? We have the visual, auditory, yeah, kinesthetic, or probably some of the student learn through reading. If you only facilitating the student by using the books, which only the words, so you only facilitating the student who has a reading learning style, yeah, reading learning style. Not for you to facilitating the student who has the auditory learning style, or probably kinesthetic learning style, and also the visual learning style. Yeah. Therefore, to make it fair, we have to facilitate the student to learn by using the book, and the book can facilitate the all student learning style, both visual, reading, kinesthetic, or auditory. Akang teteh, ya, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, multimodal can facilitate those different learning style. Yeah. When you give the story about narrative text, and then the story will be about Sangkuriang, probably. In that text, that's only the words talking about the story of Sangkuriang. Probably it will be interesting for the adult. But how if you give it to the children, the student in elementary and junior high school? Yeah. Even also for adult. Well, the adult learners has like the auditory learners, auditory learning style, or a visual learning style. Probably it will be so boring, yeah, and not match with their learning style. If the text is only the words, Sangkuriang. But if that text facilitating with the picture, the visualizations of Sangkuriang, yeah, and then the text not only white and black, but we can try to include other colors, yeah, to facilitating the visual learners, yeah, or probably you can facilitating also with the voice, all right, so you can facilitate the auditory, or you play drum and role play with your students, so facilitating student with the kinesthetic learning style means that if you can doing so, yeah, facilitating learning style, all of the students means your teaching is success, and your student can be facilitated well to learn, yeah, by using those various the various learning style. I mean, therefore, multimodal text can be the answer to facilitate the various learning style having by the student in the class. And I believe probably you will teach not only one student, right, in the class. It can be 4, it can be 5, or even also 20 more students in the class. Very various learning style. Therefore, back again, that using multimodal, it can facilitating your students with different learning style. That's the point. Yeah, and the material will be not boring for your student, yeah, because it can involving the picture, involving the audio, color, and anything that supporting the student to learn not only by using their eyes, but your student can learn through their ears. Not only through their eyes, but also your student can learn through their ears, through their body, and all senses having by your student or us as human being. And then next, let's take a look at the definition. So what is the multimodal text that basically I have explained to you before? So the definition the multimodal text is a text that combines 2 or more modes of communication to create the meaning. Yeah. Not only by using the words, but also using other modes. What are the other modes? Pictures, audio, and anything. That's the other modes. Yeah. And not only the words. Okay. And then the multimodals commonly creating in the written and spoken language. What do I mean is sometimes it can be the text with the picture, for example, and sometimes it can be spoken language like the video. Like the video you watched before, I facilitating you learning about learning style by using the transcription, right? The subtitle in the video to help you who want to learn through reading. And I'm facilitating you with the audio for those who learn through auditory, right? But probably not yet for the kinesthetic one. And then the multimodal text, yeah, the multimodal text has the characteristic that facilitating with the visual, like image, graphic, probably not only the image, like the graphic, the infographic or symbol, and then the aural or the sound, yeah, audible, or probably like the voice with music and spoken language. Yeah. Although with the gestural, yeah, it will be so different when you listen someone speak up with the gesture, like what I'm doing right now. I'm always moving my hand when I speak up. I'm using the gestural. Why? Because I'm going to help those who can understand not only verbally but non-verbal language. Sometimes communications can be interact not only through the verbal language but also through non-verbal language. Therefore, by using the gesture or the body language, it can facilitating those who not only learn or communicate with the verbal language but also with non-verbal language. And also the spatial like the layout, for example, like multimodal. Some of the multimodal also facilitating the text with the layout, with the a good design inside. Yeah. So that's what is multimodal text. And then the next, after you know about the learning style, kinesthetic, visual, auditory, right, and something more, right? You have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, you as the pre-service teacher, you are going to be the educator, or probably you are the teacher now. You have to understand what is the learning pyramid or the learning cone. Some people call it as a learning cone because it's just like the pyramid or the cones. The learning cones here, you can try to take a look. I facilitating you to understand about the learning pyramid through the visualization, right? And so the explanation comes from me through the video. We can take a look. If your student only learning something through reading, by read only the text, so the absorption atau penyerapan, yeah, the student can learn or understand that material only for 10%, the absorption, yeah, absorb the material only for 10%. Yeah. If they only listen from the teacher, it's only 5%. By reading, it can be 10%. But if you add something more, not only the text, you add the audio, you add the visual, or yeah, something else that can help your student learn not only through their eyes, but also they learn through their ears, through their all things, all senses. Yeah. The taste also, the tongue, by using tongue. It can be also when you try to learn about the procedure text. Yeah. How to cook something, how to cook nasi goreng, for example, and then you bring the equipment for cooking to the class, or yeah, or probably you bring the nasi goreng to the class, and then your student try to taste your nasi goreng. So it's not only your student learn through their eyes, but also through their ears and also through their tongue, tasting, right? So it can be so interesting for your student, right? When your student only learning from reading only 10%, but if you add something modes like the picture or audio, your student can learn and get the absorb the material, yeah, menyerap material, understanding the material. It can be 20%. It can be 20%, yeah, twice more than only reading, right? But if your student facilitated to demonstrate, to do something kinesthetic with their body, right? Like for example, playing drama. Like for example, asking your student to perform in the front of the class. So means that demonstration. Yeah, you perform in the front of your student directly. Means that the student can learn 30%. 30% because they can watch directly from you. For example, like that one, learning about the process of photosynthesis, and then you bring the plant to the class, and then your student can take a look the process of photosynthesis, for example, or procedural text in English teaching. Yeah, you explain and you demonstrate in the front of your student. So then the student can learn not only 20%, but 30% because the student can feel and also see directly in life, directly, yeah, in the front of them. Your student can learn 30%. That what we call as a passive learning. So lecturing, reading, audio, adding the visual, and then your student probably watching your demonstration means that your student learn in a passive area, yeah. While the optimally it's only around 30% for your student to learn. But if you facilitating your student by having group discussion and then you try to dividing your student into several groups, right? And then asking your student to discuss with their group to solving the problem. So it can be more than 30. It can reach 50% for the student understanding about the material. Practicing, it's different. In the demonstration, you practice, you demonstrate in the front of your student, or the not you, probably you bring the expert in the front of the class, right? The demonstration, it's different with the practicing. Yeah. In the practicing, it's not the teacher here. Practice by doing. In the practice, not the teacher, but here the student practicing by themselves, asking the student coming to the front of the class. That's what we call the practice by doing. So the student do it. The students doing that one. 75%. But if you're asking your student to teach others, 90%. So that area not called as a passive learning, but it's called by active learning. And then if you ask me, so then what the connection between the learning pyramid and also the multimodal text? What do I want to say here is, if you only facilitating your student with the material with only the words in the book, for example, in the book, it's only the words white and black. How can you expect? How can you wish that your student can understand and also observe the material, yeah, the learning, yeah, 100%? It will be so difficult. If you expect you or probably your student understand and learning effectively 100% optimally, you have to add other modes. What they are? The picture, one more, I'm going to say the picture, the audio, yeah, the activities, yeah, the activities like group discussing, demonstration, playing a role, yeah, that can be more than only 10%, like a reading only, right? And how to do that one is by adding other modes in the book or in your textbook. Adding other modes mean that you have already, you see, multimodal text. Text multimodal. So the model is only the text, but the visual, the audio, the activities, multimodal, multi-modes. So the text that has a multi-modes. Using multimodal text, you can facilitating the learning, yeah, for your student optimally and reach 100% understand about the material. Okay, so I hope you understand through the video and also through the visualization I showed to you about learning style, also about the learning pyramid before, and also you understand the connection, the relationship between, not between, but among learning style, learning pyramid, and also how to facilitating they are by using multimodal text. I hope you understand about this one. Okay, so then I have talked to you and we have discussed why we should use multimodal text in English language teaching. Ladies and gentlemen, English position in Indonesia as a foreign language. For sure, we have to fight how to engage the student, by using multimodal text, because we have a good visualization, a good design, and also facilitating with the audio also. Yeah, hope that it can capture the attention and make the student learn interestingly. Yeah. We can make the student learn interesting, yeah, not feeling bored, and provide a variety of stimuli. Yeah, because we not only can stimuli or triggering the student who have a visual only, but we have also giving a trigger for the student who learn through auditory. The second reason is a real world relevance. Okay. We have talked about authentic and non-authentic material, right, in our last meeting. So therefore, facilitating with other modes like the picture or the video or the auditory, hope it can also you bring the experience for the students to learn how the language used in the real life or in everyday life, right? By using what? Authentic material. Bring the video. Or probably if you have a native speaker friends, ask your native speaker coming to your class, demonstrating how the English is really used in the real world, in the everyday life, right? If it's so difficult to bring native speaker, just download the video or probably play the video from the YouTube, the postcard authentic material, and it's all to your student. So that can be so called as the multiple text actually. And prepare learners for authentic communication, as I talked to you before. They can understand how the language is really used in the real life. And the next one is enhanced comprehension by using multiple modes. Yeah, multiple modes, it can reinforce the meaning. Yeah. When you talk the story about a horror story, and then you facilitating the text with the ghost picture, yeah. Or when you want to teach your student about procedural text of how to cook satay, for example, you facilitating the satay pictures. You facilitating with the ingredients of how to make satay, the material or the ingredient how to make satay. It will enforce the student understanding. It will reinforce the meaning. Oh, that's what we call with the chili. Oh, chili, this one, cabe. You have the gambar cabe, right? The picture of chili. Oh, this is what we call with well, the onion or any other things, for example. Okay, and visual aid support understanding, yes. And the most important thing here is multimodal can develop the critical thinking of the student. It can encourage analysis and also the interpretation by using multiple modes. And for sure, it can foster or improve the creativity and improve the innovation. Not only the creativity and the innovation coming from the students, but also the teacher. Yeah. For example, if you work as the principal, yeah, and then you have around 20 teachers in your school, you ask all your teacher to teach by using multimodal text. They will create it or probably search the multimodal text from the internet, or they create by their own self. For sure, it can improve your teacher creativity, not only your student creativity, for sure, for your student, because the student will use this material, but also improve the creativity of your teachers. Okay, so I'm going to give you the example of multimodal text in ELT. The easy one, I believe that you know comic, right? Comic, like I'm going to show you now. Another one. Okay, here. I believe that you can take a look here. The comic, right? Comic here, it's not only facilitating. I'm sorry. I'm stop the share. I'm share the screen again. Here you can take a look the comic. I believe that for me, or probably some of you, will be more interesting to read comic instead of the text only, because it's facilitating with the picture, right? Like it's just refreshing our eyes when, for example, like me, reading the story, reading the narrative, and other things, right? It's only facilitating with the words, with the text, but also with the picture. It's just like refreshing my mind, also refreshing my eyes, right? Like this one. Hi everyone, my name is Chip, and then you can take a look here, right? When someone tried to kick this character, Chip's name is Chip, and then not only the word ouch, but you can also take a look the expression of this character, ouch, right? With angry expressions, right? With enjoy expression here. So I'm here to make that as smooth sailing as possible. If you only reading the text, yeah, you can understand. Yeah. So I'm here to make that as smooth sailing as possible. But if it's help or facilitating with the pictures, you can also imagine. You can also more understand what the expression here means, right? Because you can take a look the expression of the characters. That's one of the example of one of the multimodal text, comic, storytelling, and other things. Not only comic, Akang Teteh ya, because comic just facilitating the student to read and with the visual modes. But if you have the student with the auditory, you should facilitating also the audio with the sound. Yeah. Another one is the video. For example, like this video. I hope you can watch this video, right?
In the distant past, nestled in the cool highlands of West Java, there lived a young nobleman named Ki Sankang. He was known for his wisdom, strength, and kind heart. On one of his meditative wanderings through the dense forests of the Sunda region, Ki Sankang came upon a clearing bathed in golden sunlight. There, beside a spring, stood Dewi Rengganis, a maiden of extraordinary beauty and grace. Unbeknownst to Ki Sankang, she was no ordinary woman. She was a divine being, the daughter of a goddess who had descended to the human world. They spoke, they laughed, and before long, love bloomed between them. A deep, sincere, and spiritual love, one that transcended the boundaries between heaven and earth. But such a union was never meant to be. The gods, displeased with their growing affection, watched from above with disapproval. As the days passed, whispers of their love reached the ears of the divine realm. Angered by Dewi Rengganis' attachment to a mortal, the gods unleashed a fierce storm upon the land. Thunder cracked, winds howled, and before Ki Sankang could react, a divine force pulled Dewi Rengganis away, back to her celestial home. She vanished in a blinding light, her tears mixing with the rain. Ki Sankang was left alone, his heart shattered, his soul aching. But his love remained unwavering. That very night, he swore to find her again, no matter how far or how long it would take. Years passed. Ki Sun-chang became a wanderer, leaving behind his home and title. He traveled across vast forests, climbed rugged mountains, crossed rivers and valleys, all in search of Dewi Rengganis. He consulted forest spirits, spoke to sages, and meditated in sacred caves. Many times he faced trials, wild beasts, treacherous paths, and his own loneliness. But through it all, one thing never changed: his love and determination. The people he passed admired his dedication, and his legend began to spread. The tale of the man who wandered the earth for love. At long last, deep within the forest where silence reigned and time seemed to stand still, Ki Sun-kang reached a place unlike any other. There, beside a great stone and under an ancient tree, he found her. Dewi Rengganis, radiant as ever. The gods, moved by his loyalty, had granted them one final meeting. Tears streamed down their faces as they embraced. They had both waited for this moment, not in days, but in heartbeats that never faded. Dewi Rengganis, though grateful, knew they could not stay together forever. She asked Ki Sun-kang to create a symbol of their love, a place where love could live on, long after they were gone. With divine blessing, the ground beneath them shook gently. From it rose a beautiful, crystal-clear lake surrounded by misty hills and tea gardens. At its center lay a heart-shaped stone, Batu Cinta, the stone of love. The lake was named Situ Patenggang, from the Sundanese words Patenggang Tiangan, meaning to seek and to find one another. It became a symbol not just of love, but of faith, perseverance, and the power of reunion. To this day, Situ Patenggang lies near Bandung, surrounded by tea plantations and lush forests. Couples visit to reflect, to hope, and to sail across its calm waters. They believe that sailing to Batu Cinta will bring eternal love, as enduring as that between Ki Sun-kang and Dewi Rengganis. And with every ripple on the lake, the legend continues to whisper through the mist. That love, no matter the obstacle, will always find its way back.
All right. So after you watch that video, so why I showed that video to you is to show that the other example of multimodal text, it's not only comics, but like the example of this video, I'm creating this video by myself. This is also one of the example of the multimodal text, because I believe that before you can take a look, right, in the video, they have the visualization, right? They have the subtitle, right? The subtitle, and then they have the audio also through the speakers, right? And I believe when you teach about the narrative text by asking the student reading about the story of Situ Patenggang, the student will read, but the student will feel bored sometimes. But if you add the picture, the student probably will be a bit interesting. But if you add more, not only the picture, by using the video, I believe that the whole student in the class will pay attention, and will be more understand about the story of Situ Patenggang. Right? So that's the other example, not only comic, video clips, the video, and other things. Or the gamification, you can use like quizzes. You can use like word wall, for example, word wall. And I believe that you have already common to use that word wall, right? Yeah, by using these gamifications, you're trying to teach your students about about and anything, right? For example, Pac-Man. Okay, Pac-Man. Gamification can be also called as a multimodal text. Because the student can use their kinesthetic modes. For example, like this one. With good visualization, right? And the student will learn also. I'm sorry for this one. Who's this? Who's this? Who's this? I don't know. Imposter on what? And then, you can use your cursor. Okay. And then you can choose one of the answer. I don't know, imposter. Probably I'm going to choose imposter, whether it's correct or not. Go. Bro, I'm got a false answer. Okay, who's this? I don't know. Okay. Crewmate. Let's check the answer of crewmate. I hope it's correct. Yes, I got the score from the game. It's cool, right? It's cool. All right. Continue with the next questions, right? So it's not English what asking about this game, right? It's different. Okay, so just stop doing this one. But what I'm gonna talk to you here is by using gamification, that can be we call that you have using the multimodal text, right? There's so many website gamification website, quizzes, what else? Word wall, Kahoot, and any other things, right? Okay, PowerPoint is really common, right? PowerPoint, not only PowerPoint, but now Canva, like what I'm doing now, I'm using now Canva, Prezi, and other things, right? Or infographic like this one. Like this website. For example, you are going to teach about the procedure text, talking about the process of photosynthesis. So here, this website facilitating you not only with the explanation of what is photosynthesis and also how's the process of photosynthesis, but also with the visualization here, with the picture. So not only reading this text, but taking a look to this graphic or this picture, photosynthesis process equation, starting from carbon dioxide plus the water, and then after that, the carbon dioxide with the water can get in touch with the sunlight, and then the chlorophyll will creating the glucose, and then post oxygen it will create the fruit. That's the process of the photosynthesis. When you are going to teach about report text talking about chloroplast, or in bahasa Indonesia is chloroplasma, right? Chloroplast, what is chloroplast? Okay, you are not going facilitating your student with this text, but also with the picture. It's really interesting. The student can understand more by taking a look to this picture instead of only reading this text only. And it's really interactive. You are going to know about what is the granome actually, and then you can click this button, and then the website will facilitating the student with the explanation. What's the granome? Oh, a stack of thylakoids that increases surface area of light absorption. And then you are going to learn about stroma. In chloroplast, we have stroma. If you only facilitating the student with stroma is blah, 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 it will be so boring for the student. But with this picture, what is stroma? Oh, stroma, you just clicking this button, and then the website, the interactive website will facilitating student. Oh, stroma is blah, 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 blah. And then you student want to know more about what is the outer membranes. Oh, it's blah, 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 blah. This is what we call with multimodal text. Interactive, colorful, right? Facilitating not only with the text, but also the infograph and also the pictures. It's very interesting, right? So the name of this website is coming from Monash University. You can try to reach this website through monash.edu under monash.edu/students academic success and blah, blah, blah. You can take a look later on and try to open this website coming from your Monash University. So this is other example of multimodal text account teteh. Not only comic, the video, the website. Or probably another one is the infographic, like this one. Infographic, or the graphic. For example, the poverty rate, poverty rate in Indonesia. Okay, so let's take a look from the Google. I believe it will be so easy for you to find out about the graphic of the poverty in Indonesia, not only by using the bar graphic, but in Google, you can get what the map like this one. The map like this one. Yeah, the infographic. Okay, so here is the poverty of rate distributions start from 2015 and then 2017 in Indonesia, while the poverty level is really high in the area with the red colors. So where's the red color here? Like the Papua and also all the east area of Indonesia. And then the good province, while they have a low or lowest poverty rate, is in the area with green color. So where? So you can take a look from the picture here. This is the Kalimantan, some area of Java, for sure, for Bali. Well, Bali is really rich, right? West Sumatra and so other things. So this is what we quote with the infographic, but you can use like the poster like this one also. How to develop healthy eating habits. Instead of only giving your student a task, but it will be so interesting, it will be better for you to facilitating student like using this poster, right? The student will understand more, like more the picture. 1%, oh, 1% red, sorry, 1% green, and the other one is orange. And it's really colorful, right? Yeah. So that's the example. Another example, I mean, from the multimodal text. Accounted teh, probably now, I'm going to say that creating or making the multimodal text as not difficult as the previous time. It will be so easy for you to create your own multimodal text. Canva, you have a very interesting template of PowerPoint. What else? You know, I'm creating this video. I'm creating this video. I'm sorry, this is the advertisement for my video. I get money from this. Okay, so you know, Akang Teteh, I creating this video actually by using AI. This picture, I used Gemini, Veo 3, and also Veo 2 and also Veo 3 in creating this one, right? And also this visualization with the thunder. Also, I'm using AI, Akang Teteh. Also with the moving guys here, right? The moving guys here as a Kisanta. Here is AI generate, yeah. So it's creating a generated by AI, Akang Teteh. The picture, the video, and all things, even also the voice.
Admired his dedication, and his legend began to spread.
The music, also the voice, is created by AI, Akang Teteh. Yeah. So all the things here, my video, is created by AI. It's very easy, just typing and giving the prompt, right? Also not only create the video, but like before the game, you remember, right, about quizzes, word wall, and also Kahoot. It's really easy to create the game by using that application. Now it will be easy for you to create your comic by using storyboard, for example, storyboard. Or storyboard. Free storyboard software to create your comic. So then just bring your story, and then the software will create your story to be the automatic comic. It will be easy for you now creating your own comic. Now we live in the AI era. I know that it's easy to create the video by using Notebook LM. By using CapCut, for example, the easiest one, or Yeah, the famous one is Gemini or Nano Banana. Right nowadays, easy for you to create the picture by using Nano Banana or Veo to create the video. AI now can be used to creating multimodal text. Yeah. Okay. And then talking about the strategy in creating multimodal text. For sure, you have to choose the appropriate modes. You have to take a look your students' learning style and your student learning style. Make sure that the design is interesting. For example, for the student in elementary school, use the large or big words, for example, right? Colorful words, right? Make sure in which age you are going to use that material. Then the navigation is easy to access by your student. And then choose the image and the videos that are relevant. For example, like I'm doing before, I'm creating story about Situ Patenggang, and then I use someone working with the traditional clothes of Sundanese, for example. Ya, jangan sampai ceritanya Situ Patenggang, tapi kamu visualisasinya ada di Jepang, so it's not match, right? So choose the image or the video that relevant with the material. Photosynthesis, so the plants, right? Bukan gambarnya yaitu sedang di planet Namex, nggak match, not in planet Namex, but the plants in the Earth, di bumi, kayak gitu lah. You have to consider the next is the audio and also the visual element. Use the clear language. If you can use your voice, it will be good, better for you. But if you not really confident and you think that your pronunciation is not good enough to record yourself, you can create the audio by using AI. For example, text to voice, creating the text to the voice, and then the AI will create the audio. Ensure that the audio and also the visualization will have a good quality. Okay, so that's the strategy, right? Just make sure that it's easy to access. We can use like several technology like Canva, Prezi, CapCut, wall quizzes and other things. Easy to access. For example, the video you upload it to YouTube, right? Not Google Drive. Why YouTube? Because it will be easier for your students or for you to access, right? That's the strategy to create a multimodal text. And it doesn't mean that creating or using multimodal text, you don't have any challenging. No, but I believe that you will face some challenging. For example, you want to use a multimodal text, but your campus not facilitating you to learn by using InFocus. Your campus not having InFocus. Your campus not having the speaker in the class. Technology limitation sometimes will limit you to use a multimodal text. So then therefore you only use the book only, and then always the book, and the book. And also some of the teachers also need the training how to use multimodal text, right? How to use AI, how to use quizzes, how to use what or how to play the video in the forum of class, right? How to select the video also, how to use virtual reality nowadays, how to use the augmented reality. Also, the teacher need more training actually. For sure, like the school should facilitating the teachers the solution, right? And then the training it's necessary actually for the teacher. And then the assessment for multimodal tests can be various. It can be like holistic assessment, the analytical assessment, peer assessment, and self-assessment. But Akal Teteh and ladies and gentlemen, we are going to discuss about the assessment. The assessment, the proper and also the good assessment used to teach English actually in the next meeting, in the next meeting, in the next agenda. Talking about assessment and test. So I'm going to skip about the assessment and test, and then it's only the additional tip, right? Try to use the free and also the easiest tools, the technology tools for you if you want to creating also using the multimodal text, right? It's really familiar for you like Canva, PowerPoint, the easiest one. If you're not familiar with Notebook LM, don't use Notebook LM. If you're not familiar with Prezi, but you are really familiar with the PowerPoint or Canva, use PowerPoint or Canva. But it doesn't mean that you don't try to use Prezi. Sometimes you have to use Prezi too to enrich your horizon and also improving your IT capacity or your IT knowledge also. Yeah, kalau gitu ya. So you can try to collaborate with other teachers, right? Share with your friends, right? Do you know how to make a good picture, how to make the video by using this AI? First of all, ask your friends or try to search information from internet, from YouTube. Ask AI too, it will be so helpful for you, trust me. And then, okay, the conclusion. Finally, we come up to the conclusion. Multimodal text offer the dynamic and engaging approach to English language teaching. By incorporating the various modes of communication, we can create rich and meaningful learning experiences that can cater to diverse learners' needs. By effectively using multimodal text, we can empower our students to become confident and skilled language user in 21st century. Okay, so Akang Teteh, that's probably that I can share about multimodal text, Akang Teteh. Because this is the video and I believe that we don't have the Q&A session. Otherwise, we can have the Q&A session next week. But because you learn through the video, means that after you get the explanation from this recording, from this video, after you watch this video, you can also you must, all of the students in my class should answer the quiz that I have already facilitated you, the link that I share you here in the description of the video, or you can also access through the WhatsApp that I also give you the link of the video, link of the quiz in WhatsApp, or probably you can also try to read and access the link in this video description. So, Akang Teteh, honestly, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch this video, I hope it can enrich your horizons of what is the multimodal text and why it is necessary in digital area, in digital era, in digital era, facilitating our student with the multimodal text. It can facilitating all people to learn because all people probably will have a different learning style. Maybe those things that I can share to you about the multimodal text, hope it can be give a lot beneficial and also make you understand about what is multimodal text. Thank you very much and see you next week. Good evening and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.